In getting ready to take part in Day with Professionals, here is some advice to make the most of your time with people in your industry of interest and to kickstart your career exploration.
Some of the things that stand out to me in terms of high quality interviews are really that right away you make a connection with the person and connect with them from the standpoint of they have passion for the position that they've applied for. They have a story that connects you to that, and really that they can answer the question why Windsor, why a teacher, why them, etc. You know, if a social studies teacher I'm interviewing and I say, so why did you want to be a social studies teacher, and they can only tell me because they love history classes, versus that they want to make an impact, that they want to have better informed citizens, that they want to be in a school setting, then that is a problem for me. I think also in terms of those things that stand out, of course, you know, professional appearance, professional dress, an engaging personality. If I have to work harder in the interview than the person that I'm interviewing, then that's probably not going to be a match for us. So nerves are okay, healthy nerves are okay. Lack of energy, lack of passion, lack of interest really is not.
Hi, I'm Scott Beatty, Assistant Superintendent for Instruction here at the Windsor Central School District, and I've been asked to speak to you about cover letters and resume. What's important to keep in mind about the cover letter and resume is it's your opportunity to make a first impression before you even get into the door to do that handshake and eye contact that's so vital in your interactions with a potential employer. With that in mind, it's important to proofread all documents that you're submitting. So be sure to do that in advance, and also give it to someone you trust to look over before you submit it to an employer. Secondly, make sure you know the position and the organization to which you're applying. Use that to your advantage in your cover letter so you are specific when laying out what value you will bring to the company. It's important to be clear and concise in these documents, and it's of equal importance to follow up your submission with either a phone call or a visit to the organization. One, you want to make sure the documents aren't lost, but two, you need to distinguish yourself from the pile of resumes and cover letters that may be coming in for that position. I hope you find these tips helpful, and good luck in your journey.
My advice to students on the Day with Professionals to make sure you do your research prior to sitting down with these individuals. It's very important that you research the company and have questions for these people. We look at it as saying, having some dessert. I always want dessert. Always ask for dessert. And what that dessert means is when you have the chance to sit down with somebody, you want to extend the conversation, and the dessert is asking questions about their company or about what they do, because it really shows that you have an interest in what they're here for.
So I was asked to speak about punctuality and dress for an interview. So in terms of punctuality, it's appropriate to get there about 15 minutes early. If you get there too early, let's say 45 minutes or an hour, then the people at the company feel like they need to entertain you, talk to you, make you feel comfortable, and then it gets a little awkward for everybody. So 15 minutes gives you enough time to figure out where you're going, get settled, get relaxed, and then be ready for your interview. In terms of what you should wear to an interview, so you definitely want to come in looking professional. As soon as you walk in the door, you are going to be setting a first impression that they're going to have for you. You want to show respect for yourself, for the company, for the importance of the interview, so looking your best is very important. For guys, that often means a suit with a dress shirt, a tie, dress pants, dress shoes, looking very professional. You want something that's going to fit you well. You don't want a suit that is way too tight. It's just going to look unprofessional. In terms of women, they're going to want to wear a suit as well, with a skirt, pants, nice dress shoes. You're not going to want to wear anything too flashy. You're not going to want to have lots of makeup on, lots of jewelry. You're going to want to look somewhat conservative. The interview is where you want to dress up. The culture of the school or at the agency may be different in terms of what they wear day to day for their work, but for the interview, you're going to want to make sure that you are dressed in a very professional manner. Remember that the most important thing is to, again, to show respect for yourself and for that interview, and looking your best is going to help you do that.
So as you think about your day with professionals, one of the things you'll really want to think about is that idea of your body language. You want to come off as very confident, very positive, and excited to be meeting with the professionals you're meeting with. So the first thing I would say is really think about your eye contact with the professional. Make sure you keep that eye contact not only when you first meet them, but as you're speaking with them, and then again as you're ending your conversation with them. Also think about your smile. That will show that you're excited to meet with them and that they're important to you. Think about your handshake. So this is a big one. When you first meet with them, you want to have like that Goldilocks perfect handshake. You don't want to have the wet noodle where it's kind of floppy and wet. You also don't want to have a handshake where you actually injure them or hurt them. So think about that firm, confident handshake where they're going to say, this person is definitely excited to be here, they're taking the initiative, and yet they're not breaking their hand. So thinking about that, the other thing you want to think about is when you sit down to meet with the professional, one of the things that I will tell you I'm guilty of is talking with my hands. And so when you meet with them, I would really encourage you to take a pencil or a pen and actually have it in your hand. You don't have to take a lot of notes. You can if you want to take a few notes. You want to keep the eye contact, but this will help you to keep your hands down instead of playing with your hair or talking with your hands, which can set off a different kind of a vibe where it's not as professional and not as structured as you may want to come off. And then finally, when you think about the end of your time with them, the biggest thing I can recommend is the thank you. Being very sincere about having that time with them, thanking them for their time, thanking them for the information they've shared with you. Again, go back to the beginning. So you want to be smiling, you want to have that eye contact, and provide that perfect handshake one more time.
I've been asked to speak to you about two different subjects. First is forming a network. It's important to professionally have two different types of network. One, just in getting that job, getting that foot in the door, knowing as many people as you can know within your field of interest will really help you just get that foot in the door to be able to get that interview and maybe get you in that first position. Then once you have that position, to be able to have that professional network of people that you can go to ask questions that can kind of become a support for you within your job, really, really important. Secondly, I've been asked to talk about the importance of thank yous, thank you notes. As you move your way into the professional world or into that first job, there's going to be people there that helped you along the way. There's also going to be, as you have your interviews and you leave your interviews, anything that you can do to leave a lasting impact and to have a handwritten thank you. It doesn't happen a lot anymore, and it will leave that lasting imprint on whoever it is you're trying to impress.